Think Sweden is all snowy peace, meatballs, and IKEA? Think again. Beneath its clean streets and polite smiles lies a society built on unwritten rules, strange, silent taboos that could leave outsiders confused, embarrassed, or even accidentally offensive. Let's dive into 15 unusual taboos and unspoken rules that define everyday life in Sweden, but are rarely talked about. Number 15. Cash is practically dead. Welcome to the future. Sweden is already living in it. More than 95% of transactions are digital. That 100 krona bill in your pocket might as well be a museum artifact. Even cafes in Stockholm post signs saying, "We do not accept cash." Instead, people use apps like Swish to pay for everything from coffee to gas to church donations. The central bank reports less than 1% of all purchases are made with paper money. And with Sweden testing its own national digital currency, the e-krona, they may become the first country to fully eliminate cash. But not everyone's thrilled. Many elderly Swedes fear being left behind. And critics warn that a power outage or internet crash could freeze the whole economy. Still, Sweden is forging ahead, wired and walletless. Number 14. Tipping? That's insulting. Tipping in Sweden isn't just unnecessary, it can actually offend. Why? Because workers here are paid fairly by law. Wages, unions, and rights are strong. So tipping might seem like you're implying they need extra help or didn't do their job right. A Dog's Nye Hater poll found that over 60% of Swedes don't expect tips, and 80% prefer you simply say thank you. Number 13. Lifelong partners. No rings required. Imagine this. You've been living with someone for 20 years. You share bills, raise kids, go on vacations. You're basically married. But legally, you're not. Welcome to the Swedish concept of sambo, a form of lifelong cohabitation that doesn't require marriage. And it's not just casual living together. It's a legally protected status. Nearly 50% of Swedish couples are sambos, even those with children. In Sweden, marriage is optional, not expected. Many believe choosing to stay together without needing a contract is a stronger symbol of commitment than a wedding ring. Swedish law even includes a Sambo Act that outlines rights for things like shared property, custody, inheritance, and healthcare access. Live together for 6 months with kids? You're a legal family. And here's the twist. No messy divorce. If you separate, you can simply become a sambo with someone else. It's a system built on flexibility, mutual respect, and freedom of choice, not tradition. Number 12. Nudity isn't shocking. It's normal. In Sweden, being naked isn't taboo. It's just Tuesday. From lakeside saunas to urban nude beaches, public nudity is widely accepted and often encouraged. But it's not about being provocative. It's about body neutrality and freedom. Whether it's just a nude beach near Stockholm or open-air saunas in forest parks, you'll find Swedes of all ages, yes, including entire families, relaxing without a shred of embarrassment. According to a 2022 Svenska Dagbladet survey, nearly 48% of Swedes have participated in some form of public body-positive activity, be it skinny dipping, sunbathing, or even outdoor yoga. In this culture, the body isn't sexualized by default. It's simply human. Children are taught from an early age to understand body privacy and boundaries through education, not shame. That might explain why UNICEF ranks Sweden as one of the top countries for children's emotional well-being. So don't be surprised if you stumble upon a sauna full of naked strangers chatting like it's nothing. In Sweden, it really is. Number 11. Kids aren't bossed around. They're respected. In Sweden, children aren't treated as miniature adults or passive rule followers. They're seen as people, with emotions, boundaries, and a right to be heard. Here, it's perfectly normal for a child to say no to food, to refuse a hug, or to object to something that makes them uncomfortable. It's not rudeness. It's part of teaching them how to set boundaries and trust their instincts. Swedish law backs this mindset completely. In fact, Chapter 5, Article 11 of their child protection laws guarantees every child the right to express their views in matters that affect them. And since 1979, Sweden became the first country in the world to ban all forms of physical punishment, including spanking, setting a global precedent. But this isn't a free-for-all. Children aren't given unchecked power. Instead, the role of parents is redefined, not as commanders, but as emotional partners. Parents are encouraged to discuss, explain, and involve kids in decision-making rather than bark orders or use fear-based discipline. According to Uppsala University research, this approach leads to children who are more confident, emotionally aware, and capable of building healthy relationships later in life. No yelling, no punishments without explanation. And definitely no shaming. Ask a Swedish child how they feel, and you might be surprised when they ask you the same in return. That's the foundation of the empathy and equality Sweden holds dear. It's no surprise UNICEF consistently ranks Sweden among the best places on earth to raise children. Number 10. Street dancing can get you in trouble. Picture this. You're in a European plaza. Music's playing, friends are dancing, and the vibe is pure joy. In Paris or Berlin, that's normal. But in Sweden, that spontaneous dance party might be illegal. Thanks to a strange and long-standing law from the 1930s, dancing in public without a permit is technically banned. Known as the Dance Permit Law, it was originally intended to control public gatherings, but it stuck around far longer than expected. In the 1990s, Swedish nightclubs were actually fined, not for noise, not for drinking, but simply for allowing people to dance without a separate dance license. Even if the venue was legally open and serving food, dancing without a permit crossed the line. Though the rules have relaxed in recent years, the ban hasn't fully disappeared. As of 2023, public dancing still requires approval in many cities, especially in open spaces like parks, plazas, or docks. Even inside a busy cafe, organizing a dance event could require the owner to file with the city. It's one of Sweden's strangest legal leftovers, a silent reminder that even in a progressive society, some old rules still tap their feet in the background. Number 9. Sexism isn't just frowned upon, it's outdated. In Sweden, gender equality isn't a goal, it's the baseline. Ranked #5 globally and #1 in Europe for gender parity by the 2023 World Economic Forum, Sweden leads the way with over 43% of leadership roles held by women. Female CEOs, engineers, and political leaders aren't groundbreaking, they're expected. And that's why even casual gendered comments like, "Are you sure you can handle this?" or "Do many women do this job?" can come across as not just rude, but ignorant. Here, gender is intentionally removed from everyday language. Official documents, emails, and even customer service exchanges favor gender-neutral terms, using first names or Sweden's neutral pronoun hen instead of he or she. This isn't about hating men, it's about removing bias from the equation altogether. In Sweden, skills matter more than titles, and equality isn't just a policy, it's a deeply rooted social norm. Number 8. No, you can't just buy alcohol anywhere. If you think grabbing a bottle of wine in Sweden is as easy as picking up milk, think again. Here, alcohol stronger than 3.5% isn't sold in convenience stores, supermarkets, or gas stations. Instead, it's only available at a government-run chain called Systembolaget, and this isn't your typical liquor store. There are no discounts, no flashy displays, and definitely no late-night booze runs. It's more like a pharmacy for alcohol, sterile, quiet, and very controlled. To buy anything above a beer, you must be at least 20 years old, show ID, and follow strict hours. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays, closed on Sundays and holidays. This system has existed since 1955, designed not for convenience, but for public health. And it works. According to the World Health Organization, Sweden consumes 8.2 liters of pure alcohol per person per year, compared to 9.8 liters in the US and 10.6 in Germany. Fewer car accidents, lower domestic violence rates, and a society that treats alcohol not as a right, but as a responsibility. Number 7. Big romantic gestures? Big mistake. If you're planning to win a Swede's heart with roses, serenades, or love at first sight speeches, pump the brakes. In Sweden, romance is subtle, slow, and deeply private. Grand gestures like surprise gifts, public confessions, or saying "I love you" too early aren't seen as sweet. They're often viewed as emotionally excessive, even awkward. Personal space is sacred, even in love. According to Statista Central Byron, over 50% of Swedes believe public displays of affection are disrespectful. Holding hands, kissing, or hugging in public can feel intrusive, not intimate. Here, love doesn't start with fireworks. It starts with quiet Fika dates, casual texting, and cautious, unspoken connection. You could date someone 10 times and still not be considered a boyfriend or girlfriend. In Sweden, love isn't shouted, it's whispered. The taboo isn't romance itself. It's romance that feels too fast, too needy, or, worst of all, too American. Number 6. Never act like you're better than anyone. In Sweden, modesty isn't just polite. It's a deeply embedded social rule. And breaking it? That's taboo. This unwritten code is called jantelagen, or the law of Janti. It isn't a legal rule, but it shapes everything, from how people talk about success to how they write their resumes. The core idea? Don't think you're better than anyone else. Have a six-figure salary? Great, but don't bring it up. Top of your class? Keep it to yourself. Even online, Swedes avoid anything that looks like showing off. A 2022 Stockholm University survey found that over 78% of Swedes find public self-praise annoying, and a study by the Swedish Institute for Future Studies revealed that many international students feel held back, afraid that confidence will be mistaken for arrogance. It's the complete opposite of countries like the US or UK, where self-promotion is part of success. In Sweden, the more humble you are, the more respected you'll be. So if you want to fit in, speak softly, act modestly, and let your actions speak louder than your words. Number 5. Working late? That's a red flag. In most countries, staying late at the office signals commitment. In Sweden, it raises eyebrows. While the official workweek is 40 hours, many Swedish companies, especially in the public sector, adhere to 37.5 hours per week, or even less. Some employers in Gothenburg have experimented with 6-hour workdays, and the results? Higher productivity, less stress, and happier employees. Here, leaving work on time isn't lazy, it's smart. According to Eurostat, 95% of Swedes clock out by 5 p.m. And if you consistently work overtime, you won't earn admiration, you'll get strange looks. People might wonder, do you lack time management? Are you overcompensating? In Swedish office culture, balance is everything. Work too little, and you're irresponsible. Work too much, and you're seen as out of sync, even disrespecting your own personal life. Lagom, the Swedish philosophy of just the right amount, applies to work too. Because here, success isn't measured in hours, it's measured in balance. Number 4. Places you shouldn't visit in Sweden. Sweden may have the image of a perfect Nordic utopia, but not all of it is postcard perfect. Across major cities like Stockholm, Gothenburg, and Malmö, there are zones known as utsatta områden, vulnerable areas officially flagged by Swedish police where crime is high and law enforcement presence is limited. As of 2024, nearly 60 such zones exist. These aren't just rough neighborhoods, they're places where organized gangs exert control, surveillance cameras monitor movement, and even police hesitate to intervene after dark. Neighborhoods like Rinkeby in Stockholm, Rosengård in Malmö, and Biskopsgården in Gothenburg are frequently cited in national security reports. In some areas, local residents manage access points, install private barricades, and operate like communities within a state. So what happened in a country once hailed for peace and equality? Security analysts point to a mix of open immigration policies, failed integration efforts, and economic segregation, leading to social rifts. The result? Parallel societies where native Swedes avoid, and second-generation immigrants feel abandoned. It's a complex, sensitive issue, but one that shatters the illusion that all of Sweden is a safe, seamless paradise. Number 3. Never expect a dinner invite. Imagine visiting a friend's home, and when dinner time comes, they go off to eat and leave you sitting in the other room. No invite, no snack, not even a sorry. Sounds cold? In Sweden, this is perfectly normal. This strange custom first made waves on social media, sparking global outrage. But in Swedish culture, not inviting guests to dinner, especially unplanned, is about respecting independence and boundaries, not being rude. The belief is simple. If I feed you, you may feel obligated. That's seen as unfair. True respect means not creating pressure or emotional debt. Food historian Richard Tellstrom traces this back to the 1960s and 70s, when meals were expensive and tightly portioned. Kids visiting other homes during dinner were told to wait or go home to eat. Today, this rule has softened, especially in cities and younger households. But in more traditional or rural communities, the dinner table is still considered family-only space, a quiet boundary few dare to cross. Number 2, baby names need government approval. Think naming your baby is a personal decision? In Sweden, it's a legal process. Under the Names Act of 1982, parents must submit their chosen baby names for official approval. If the name is deemed inappropriate, offensive, or just too strange, it gets rejected. No name, no birth certificate. And it's happened. Names like Metallica, IKEA, BRFXX, CCXX, MNPCCC, CLMNPRX, VCLM, and CKSSQLBB, 11,116, and even Allah have all been denied for being confusing, commercial, or potentially disrespectful. Why the control? Because in Sweden, a name is part of a dignified social identity. A flashy or controversial name can disrupt the balance of equality and social harmony, two values Swedes take seriously from birth. It may sound strict, but it's rooted in the belief that every child deserves to grow up with a name that commands equal respect in society. Number 1. The sacred rule. Always cue properly. The most important rule in Swedish culture? Wait your turn. Quietly. In Sweden, lining up is sacred. Whether it's for the train, the bakery, or a summer ice cream cone, people form silent, orderly queues, sometimes with meters between each person. No signs, no instructions, just trust. A 2018 SOM Institute study found that over 83% of Swedes believe proper queuing is a sign of good citizenship. Some places even have ticket machines at sandwich shops, not because it's crowded, but because no one should feel cheated or skipped. And if you cut the line, you won't be shouted at. Instead, you'll receive the dreaded Swedish silent punishment, cold stares, subtle head shakes, and collective quiet judgment. It's not loud, but it's chilling.